So we finally reached our final chapter, and as I promised, I'm going to take one Iray scene that has never been rendered in Octane and convert it completely to Octane using my Octane Render Kit, shader slides and materials, and we're gonna see how fast I can do it. For starters, let's see our scene right now in Iray. I actually have this render finished for comparison. It may take a little bit. Anyhow, this is what this render looks like, and I'm actually going to keep this image open so I can do comparisons as I go. First thing, what I've noticed, I think yes, I have something here that's in the way. I'm just gonna quickly hide it with the geometry editor tool. Just to temporarily hide that, because that's not visible in the original scene and doesn't have to be visible in the Octane one either. So let's see what we are working with. Let's load up a scene once. Here we go. So I'm gonna go to my content library, going to load my lightning presets. I'm going to go straight to high, and I'm going to choose one of these environments. Actually, I could have gone and just loaded all render settings so I don't have to go back and forth. Since my scene was pretty much a daylight, I'm going to readjust my dimensions. Let's check what it was. No, that's not what it was. Next, I'm gonna go load up the auto material ones. Just to see what kind of a look we're getting. Let's not forget this is the look we're aiming for, like very soft lighting, some daylight, and adjusting these materials to look like they look in the Octane render, which is not the case right now. So next thing, I'm going to load my Genesis 8 materials right away. Since she's a very pale girl, we're going to use the skin tone one again. And she turned black temporarily. So we've loaded back our maps. Another thing that I forgot that we can actually use here, my girl, I believe, has some diffuse overlay that I mentioned earlier. Which was already burned into her diffuse color. So I'm just gonna swap the map. Let's see how that looks. There's her eyeliner. I can't really see much right here. So I'm just going to move around my sun a tiny little bit. Or let's try for the afternoon. Okay, so I'm slowly getting where I want to be. I'm also going to add some mesh lights. We're going to light presets, Octane Render Kit lights, mesh lights. And how this scene was lit, I want some soft light from the front. And here it is. I'm going to go back to our camera. Let's see if it loads. Let's rebuild scene once just in case. That's much better now. So I'm going to go step by step and convert her hair to and her clothing. I'm going to use my surface picker here. I'm going to go to my shaders, Octane Render Kit, templated shaders. And let's say, let's go for Shine Bee. I can see it here. So now I'm going to move it up here to the other surfaces of the hair. Right click and replace all active maps. Here we go. Next is the clothing. I'm going to select her top. As we see, all these surfaces are using the same material. So I'm going to use my fabric soft. I'm just going to drag it here. Replace all active maps. We have another top. This is pretty much repetitive here. We're going to select her pants. We're going to use rough fabric for that. Let's see where that led us. I think my upper top is a little bit too transparent. Let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. Our opacity map is right here. So I could lower the gamma. Let's try 1.5. Or let's enhance the power to 2. That kind of does it better. So let's turn this to 2. Let's pull up our image. That's pretty much the similar effect. So we're gonna move forward. Next thing I want to do, I want to apply my shaders to this this chair and the cushion. For cushion, it has 2 fabrics. I'm going to use the rough fabric. And another rough fabric. So this fabric was going for fabric white, so we're gonna replace all of that. This one was fabric red, so just pull it down there. Select both by holding Control, Textures, and replace all active maps. So far, so good. Now we have all of this in wood, and as I expected, we are having this color overlay. I'm going to do and copy this color just in case that it gets lost. I'm going to select my wood rough. Oops. Add all wood to it. Replace all active maps. Let's pull up my node graph editor. Power, as we said earlier, we're just going to right now add this color and see how that looks. Now we have the wicker and we have the same case going. We're going to save our diffuse color. We're going to apply a rough material. Replace all active maps. Select our map here and add our color. Again, this does not happen that often, but I guess for this tutorial it decided that it's gonna be so. So what else is left to convert? We have this ivy here, ivy leaves, and I'm going to use my foliage green shader for that. It's right here, so I'm just going to put it all under that. Textures, replace all active maps. And here we go. We are going to select her glasses, which have the lens inner and lens outer. For this, we're going to use our glass clear. And let's use it on the inner glass as well. Now, as far as glass is concerned, as you can see, we're getting this little shadow that we don't really want when we're doing glasses like this, because it can create artifacts. To remove that, we're just going to click Fake Shadows. It's still going to retain its glassy material. It's just going to remove that black shadow. You can use it like on glasses or any other glassy materials if you are getting this unwanted effect. So let's see our original. We are getting close pretty quick. We have a couple more things, like let's say this little ring of hers. I'm going to use the gold shader. I'm going to use it for both of those surfaces. And there we go. Is there anything else left? We could use, we can use some plastic, glossy. That's not exactly what I intended. I actually intended more to use this plastic glossy, the textured one. So here we go. Textures, replace all active maps. And we're here. So we've pretty much converted this in very short amount of time without having to set up the scene from the beginning and gotten the result very similar to what we had. I also want to do these frames. No leaving the stone unturned. So we're going to select this. And it's this steel here that is basically black. So we can use silver and then just change the color on it. Let's move it here. We want to keep it true to the original, so I'm going to try and make them a little black. specular color a little darker. Here we go. Now it's a dark metal glasses. We have her eyebrows as well, which are basically looking good right now. I'm just going to tone down the specular a little bit and maybe add a little bit of roughness to it. Let's go back to my camera. Let's see where we're at. We could also go to our book or books. And since we do not have a paper shader, I can use the plastic matte, which is basically almost a diffuse. And let's see, it's right here. Textures replace. Some of these weren't completely necessary, but there will be many times when they are going to be. So what I managed to achieve is basically using one light, one soft light, and the environment settings here a little bit modified from the original. And I've pretty much recreated the same scene I have done in Iray, now in Octane, with our new shaders, with our templated shaders, and with our included environment and lights and material settings. We can basically achieve the same result we've achieved here. So let's say it's now giving me the time of 2 minutes 34. Oh, actually 2 hours 23. I apologize, that's because it's running on a 10,000 samples. Let's say if we wanted to about 2,000 samples would be enough. This image here achieved as much in about the 33 minutes in about the same resolution with similar lights, similar shaders, and we are currently getting 26 minutes on our Octane render, which means it is faster by about 7 minutes on this small little project. So this is a comparison side by side. I could still like go a little bit and give it a little bit of maybe bloom to soften it up. Maybe readjust it like this, like so. This linear response is pretty much giving me the result I'm looking for. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Left side Octane, right side Iray. If we would want maybe, I'm not sure, is there any difference in color? I wouldn't say so, not much. This one may look a little bit warmer with the skin, but that is pretty much the effect I was looking for. Oh, let's cut down the depth of field too to match. And link my camera to my Daz camera, so we are a little bit more accurate there. So here it is. The same scene rendered in Octane using the Octane Render Kit and rendered in Iray using Iray resources. I hope you enjoyed this video, this walkthrough tutorial, this presentation of the entire Octane Render Kit. I hope you use it. I hope you're having fun. I hope you learned something new. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to join the Daz Studio forums on daz3d.com. Post your thread, ask questions. I will be around. I will try to answer as many as I can. And I hope you liked this video, and I hope you enjoy the package. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.